Hey guys, it's Steve for CollectorMania. I'm here doing another deck tech. This is my mono green deck, Seshiro the Anointed. This deck is definitely one of my more fun decks. Something I usually play out with or pull out with new players or people that I'm trying to teach. Um, it's a lot of fun. It's tribal snakes, of course. Shishiro, you know, showing that off. um, there are quite a few alternative commanders in here, which I'll kind of show you that in a second. I really like the deck because of that. It feels very versatile. Being able to change it up sometimes and try some different stuff. I'm really hoping that they print some more legendary snakes, or my dream would be a return to Kamigawa. I know that'll probably never happen, but yeah, here's to hope. So with that, here let's get into some of these alternative commanders that I have here. I'll butcher some of these names. I promise you that right now, right up front. So anyway, I think this is Seiya Orochi Ascendant. Really just a fun commander if you want to play a lot of lands. Have gotten to flip before. Really cool when that happens. Yeah, just cool card. And then we've got Shisato, Whispering Hunter. This is more of a spiky kind of commander. Makes it so your opponent doesn't really or isn't really able to do a whole lot on their turn, which is kind of cool sometimes if you want to be a little crueler, I guess. Yeah. Then we've got Sosuke, Son of Shishiro. He's kind of my least favorite choice out of the legendary snakes in here. He's kind of just a beater guy, which is kind of usually why I avoid a whole lot of green commanders, because really that's what they do best, and I'm not too big into that. But anyway, he's here. Then we've got Sachi, daughter of Shishiro. This is probably my second favorite commander choice out of all of them. She's pretty cool. I like the mana ramp. I also like the buff on defense for snakes. Just a fun alternative. Then we've got Sakiko, Mother of Summer. Really cool mana storage battery. Plus, the artwork is just awesome. One of these days, I'm gonna have to do a altar for this. Get the full art in there. That and Shishiro as well. Both of them. The artwork is just amazing. Then we've got Patron of the Orochi. He's probably the only. Well, he is the only non-snake creature in the entire deck. But I had to include him. He can come out pretty early with all the snake token generation that you'll see. Plus 7/7 has a really relevant ability. Cool card. Probably I always look at them as the gods before the gods, if that makes any sense. We've got Hooded Hydra. A good way to generate a whole bunch of snake tokens, and just a good guy to swing in there and get killed, when you're trying to draw some cards with Shishiro. We've got a Wasteland Viper. I found it really important, especially since Shishiro is the main commander, to kind of include some of these Death Touch and Evasion little guys, just to, draw through your deck a little bit, and, plus the Blood Rush ability is pretty cool too. Plus he's, a pretty cool looking snake. Mold Adder, just a snake, gets bigger sometimes doesn't, just kind of hangs out. As you'll kind of notice, there's not really a whole lot of snakes to put in here. I wish there were more. I know that they're starting to print some more, here and there. Most recently, I think there's one in Amonkhet, the 4/3 guy that makes it so your snakes can't be countered. He'll go right in here. Plus, it just boosts the numbers. He'll probably come out for this guy actually, or for that guy. You know what I mean. We've got a Sakura Tribe Scout, kind of a walking atlas for green. Pretty cool card. Get some more lands out there. Metallic Mimic, really good tribal card. Makes your snakes a little bit stronger. River Boa, as I talked about, some guys with evasion that can get in there and draw you some cards every once in a while. Should get the Swamp Walk guy too. One of these days I'll pick him up and fit him in here. And I've got a Tribe Elder, of course. Got a Orochi Sustainer, really good mana dork guy. Lotus Cobra, one of the non-budget additions to the deck. I love this card. I love the artwork. I love everything about it. It's really cool. I probably wouldn't be normally running it in a budget deck like this, but I had to put it in here. Got an Ambush Viper. For that sneak removal when somebody swings at you with a huge guy and then you just flash this guy in and death touch it to death. So plus, you know, as I talked about before, sometimes having death touch guys that no one wants to block, you know, swinging in and drawing into cards is really cool too. We've got a tribe sniper, really kind of just fun to pin some guys down. Plus, if you get the Gorgon flail on him, which we'll see later, he really becomes quite cool. You know, one of Green's big weaknesses is flyers, of course, and this guy handles them pretty well. Deathhood Hydra, or Hydra, Cobra. We've got an Adaptive Automaton, some more tribal stuff. Skullwinder, kind of the snake version of Eternal Witness, with a little bit of downside, you know, having to give one of your opponents something from their graveyard back as well. Still a cool card, though. Tribe Decoy. As you'll notice, a lot of these snakes have a pretty similar ability, and that's when they deal combat damage to a creature or player, they do something, like they either tap a creature down and doesn't tap during the next turn. You'll kind of notice that on a few of them. It's pretty cool ability, especially when you can kind of force, you know, something to happen, like with this guy's activated ability. Kashi Tribe Elder, really cool for all of your legendary creatures in here. Makes it so they can't be targeted by spells or abilities. Orin Viper, some pseudo death touch with upside of card draw. Egg Watcher, usually just makes a whole bunch of tokens, but sometimes gets to flip over and become kind of a win condition. Chameleon Colossus, evasion again, plus this guy gets huge with the amount of mana generation in here. Then we've got a Sakura Tribe's Spring Caller, kind of a mini mana battery kind of guy. He's pretty good. He's fun. It's fun ability to have. Birdstalker. I'm going to kind of go through some of these meh ones. Regenerate, basically. Another meh. We've got a Nissian Asp, kind of in here for the reach. That's mainly what it's in here for, but you can make him, you know, an 8. What? That's a 8/9, so not bad. Snake of the Golden Grove, a little bit of life gain or making a 7/7, not bad. Nemesis of Mortals can usually come out pretty early. Not that much benefit for coming out that early. I mean, he's kind of okay, I guess. You can pay for the monstrosity and turn him into a 10/10, but I mean, a 10/10 without a whole lot going on, really. So, cool, though. This is what we have to work with. And we've got an Orochi Hatchery, good for making a whole bunch of snakes. Skull Clamp, good for unmaking a whole bunch of snakes. And drawing cards, of course. Winter Orb, really, I mean, let's be honest here, we're talking mono green. We're going to have a lot of mana, and we have a lot of, you know, creatures that have to deal with mana and stuff like that. So sometimes getting this out can really, you know, slow your opponents down. It's definitely a fun card. I usually don't use it in this, you know, way, but it definitely has become useful in the games that I've gotten it on. Gorgon Flail, Death Touch. Smuggler's Copter, a little bit of card draw and evasion. Plus, I had to put it in here, you know, just so I can make the snakes on a plane joke. Urza's Incubator, some more tribal stuff. Seer's Sundial, a little bit of card draw. Tower of Fortunes, card draw again. Really expensive card draw, but it's budget. Tamio's Journal. I plan on putting a few of those like token doubler effects in here, especially some of the new ones that have come out recently. Just a fun card. I like Tamio's Journal a lot. Not usually in this kind of application, but still pretty cool. Cage Sun, double those forests. Sylvan Library, I just recently got this from my LGS. It's pretty beat up, as you can tell. Got it for a really good price, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Put it right into this deck, of course, because as I've said, it's budgety. But yeah, pretty cool find, I'd say. Seed the Land, some more snake tokens. Frontier Siege, a little bit of mana ramp. You're never going to use that second ability. You're never going to call dragons on this in this deck. We've got a Nature's Will. Really cool card, actually. Just recently found it like a couple months ago when somebody played it against me, and it is pretty awesome. Plus, it, you know, comes from Kamigawa block and it's got snakes on it, so just had to put it in here. Primal Order. I think there's like 3 non-basic lands in the entire deck, so this isn't usually hurting you. Benefactor's Drought. kind of cool, tricky card draw. Tribute to the Wild, a little bit of artifact and enchantment destruction. Harrow, mana ramp. Beast Within, a little bit of spot removal. Cobra Trap, some more tokens. Rampant Growth, mana ramp. Time of Need. I'd say this card is definitely underutilized in here, and I could definitely throw it in some other decks. You know, if I, for example, if I had like a Captain Sisse or something like that, it could be a lot more useful, but I don't know, in here it's just fun. Find some of those alternative commanders, or, you know, if I want to kind of switch up the playstyle a little bit mid-game. Life's Legacy. Well, actually, I'll go back to this for a second. The really, really cool thing to do with this is, of course, find the Patron of the Orochi. Yeah, that's mainly why I probably keep it in here. Sorry, I had to go back and state that. Life's Legacy. Really cool card draw. Gaia's Blessing. Can't talk. Pretty cool card. A little bit of a shuffle, reshuffle effect for stuff, and getting some of your graveyard cards back into your library is nice. Plus, draw a card. Rabid Bite, a little bit of removal, some fight. Nissa's Pilgrimage, a little bit of mana ramp. Sosuke's Summonings, recurable code or token generator, pretty cool. Kadama's Reach, mana ramp. Overrun, probably one of the biggest win conditions of the entire deck right here. I know it's a super secret tech here. This is my Snake Craterhoof. One of these days I'm going to have to, maybe alter this to look like a snake version of Craterhoof. That'd be kind of cool. Fun card, though. Seasons Past, I love this card. It's probably one of my favorite cards that have been printed recently. It does pretty much everything I'd want it to do, so yeah, can't talk about this one enough. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. We'll just say the Cloud Keeper. Really useful for getting Seshiro out pretty early. It's not really that great in this deck. Once again, there's not that much legendary, stuff going on. But, I don't know, I find it for him, it's always useful, so cool card to include. Let's see, Okina, Temple of Grandfathers. Just kind of a fun card. Makes your legendary snakes a little bit bigger sometimes. Mosswort Bridge, of course. We all know what this does. A little bit of hideaway action here. You're definitely going to have a lot of creatures out, so 10 power isn't really that hard to achieve. And with that, I believe the rest are just forests. Trying to get some more of these Kamigawa forests in here. I think I've found like 13 or so, but one of these days I hope to have the entire mana base, be Kamigawa forests just for flavor reasons, just, something fun. But with that, that's the deck tech. That's the mono green deck for, of course, this week. Next week we'll be going into, I think we're going to start with our dual color. We're going to do probably Azorius first, just because that seems right. Once again, this is kind of a fun deck, so if you ever wanted to reproduce it and kind of play with your friends, that are newer, or if you just kind of want a fun tribal deck, I highly recommend it. It's pretty cool. Mono green. Also, it's pretty cheap, pretty easy to pick up a lot of these pieces. But yeah, with that, that's the deck. Just remember to like, favorite, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.